Formula One is a sport built on speed, skill and sometimes sheer resilience. Robert Kubica's journey took him from the highest peak, a Grand Prix victory, to the brink of losing his career, his arm and even his life. This is the story of F1's most incredible comeback. Born in Krakow, Poland in 1984, Robert Kubica was obsessed with racing from the moment he could hold a steering wheel. By the age of 10 he was winning karting championships across Europe. But coming from Poland, a country with no F1 infrastructure, meant his path to the big leagues was anything but guaranteed. In 2006, Kubica got his big break with BMW Sauber. He didn't just show up, he stunned the paddock, scoring a podium in his only his third race. In 2008, he'd take his first and only Formula One victory in a chaotic Canadian Grand Prix, briefly leading the championship. Many believed he was a future world champion. But in February 2011, everything changed. Kubica entered the Ronde d'Andorra rally in Italy, just another off-season challenge. On a narrow stretch of road, his car struck a guardrail at over 130 km an hour. The barrier pierced the cockpit, severely injuring his right arm, shoulder and leg. Surgeons worked for hours to save his life and his arm. His F1's career, as they said, was over. For most drivers that would be the end, but not for Robert Kubica. He began an intense rehabilitation program, relearning how to drive with limited movement in his right hand. He turned to rallying again, competing and winning in national events. The paddock watched in disbelief. Could this man really make it back to Formula One? In 2017, Renault invited Kubica to test their F1 car again. Against all odds, he was competitive. His feedback was sharp, his pace consistent, but concerns about race fitness and sponsorship politics meant the fairy tale return was still out of reach. Then came 2019. Williams offered Kubica a full-time race seat. The car was uncompetitive, often the slowest on the grid, but for Robert, just being there was a victory in itself. And at the German Grand Prix, he scored Williams' only point of the season. It may not have been champagne and trophies, but it was symbolic of a man who refused to quit. After 2019, Kubica took on a new role as a test and reserve driver for Alfa Romeo, while also competing in endurance racing. In 2021, he raced at Le Mans, and in 2023, he won the European Le Mans Series Championship, proving that even after everything, his speed and his spirit were still intact. Robert Kubica's story isn't just about racing. It's about refusing to accept limits, about resilience in the face of the impossible. In a sport obsessed with perfection, he showed that courage and determination could be just as legendary as any lap. He may never have won a world championship, but in the hearts of racing fans, Robert Kubica will always be a champion.